In today's video, we're going to talk about this, the iPad Pro 9.7 inch, and that's coming up right now. What's up, VIPs? Derek here, back with another video where it's all about helping you discover life after sight loss. On this channel, we do product reviews, life advice, encouragement, and more. So if this is the first time you're seeing my beautiful face, make sure that you smash that subscribe button so you don't miss another single video. As I said, today we're talking about this beautiful item, the iPad Pro 9.7 inch. Now, let me go ahead and say that I just picked this up yesterday, so it's pretty brand new, and it still kind of has that, new iPad smell. So I'm still kind of playing around with it, figuring it out. I got the slate gray version, which you can see from the front. It's all black, or the space gray. I said slate gray. Let me try that again. I picked up the space gray version because it has the black front right here where it's all, the bezels are black instead of white. So I just picked it up yesterday. Again, it's pretty new, but that's all right. I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a reason why I bought this and the comparison of the bigger iPad Pro 12.9. So I purchased this for work purposes. I have a job where I would travel and have sessions and meetings and things like that. So I wanted something where I could use in session, and I wanted something that I could store notes on, or I could do media on and things like that. So I wanted the iPad. Now, bear in mind that I've had iPads since like the iPad 2. I've had an iPhone since the 3GS, so I'm familiar with the iOS environment and the ecosystem that is iOS. But the reason I wanted the iPad Pro for a couple different reasons. It had better sound and the screen quality was better. So I started looking at the 12.9 inch iPad because lots of people have commented on it and said, wow, it's huge, but it's too big, it's not portable, blah, 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 blah. But I thought, you know what? They're not visually impaired. They don't use it like I would use it. So what would it be like for a visually impaired person using it? So I hopped on down to Best Buy and tried out the two different iPad sizes. I'm sure they thought I was probably going to steal one because I was hovering over them for like an hour. I tried the iPad Pro 12.9, and while the screen was great and it was beautiful and there was so much more real estate to deal with, it was pretty darn big. And the thing about it was, I was holding it sort of in portrait mode like this, and I was holding it and I was playing around with it, and my hand got tired after about, 36 seconds. So I was like, this is probably bad. Because if you put it on a stand and you set it up on the table, it's great, it's probably fine. You watch videos, you do little work, whatever. But here's the thing, I don't need another desktop. I'm not trying to get the iPad to replace my desktop. I have a Mac, it works great, no problems. So I wanted something that was more portable, and the 9.7 inch really took the day. And so I ended up going with the 9.7 inch, and a couple of features I wanted to point out about the iPad Pro 9.7. Number one, it's got a better camera. Now, why is this important? First of all, everybody says don't take pictures with your iPad. However, most of those people are not visually impaired. So why is it good to take pictures with your iPad? Because it's got a huge viewfinder. I mean, my goodness, this thing is massive. You can take pictures with this. I mean, let's think about it for a second. Let me just turn this on and show you what I'm talking about. So here we go. We've got the viewfinder, and look how big this thing is. That is huge. You want a huge viewfinder for your picture and video taking, right? Maybe it's a little weird to take pictures and videos with an iPad, but this one, the 9.7, has a better camera. As a matter of fact, it's got the camera from the iPhone 6S. It's 12 megapixel, shoots in 4K video, great camera. Secondly, this iPad, as along with the bigger brother, the 12.9, has quad speakers. 2 speakers on the top, 2 speakers on the bottom. And I've got to say, the sound is awesome. I was watching a TV show last night in bed, and it was like, boo, it was stereo, it was great. Not to mention, voiceover comes out of all the speakers. So you get a more immersive sound with voiceover, and you're not having to worry about like doing this and covering the thing, and it's really great. The other reason the 9.7 is good is because it has a better screen. Now, the screen resolution is higher on the iPad Pro 12.9, but the 9.7 has something called True Tone, which apparently is supposed to be affected by the ambient light in the room. And the whole point of that is to help so your eye strain isn't as high. And if you're visually impaired, you know that eye strain is something that we worry about about pretty consistently. So I picked up the 9.7, been using it so far, it's great. It's a great product, it's iPad, it's iOS, you know what you're expecting, it's wonderful. And I'm gonna do some more videos about it, but I wanted to kind of let you guys know that I picked it up and thought I'd say, hey, if you guys have questions, maybe you're in the market for an iPad, maybe you have an iPad and you'd like some tips and tricks, leave all that in the comments below, questions, comments, whatever it is, and I'll be happy to answer them or maybe even do a video about them. And maybe you have questions about the 12.9, maybe you have questions about another iPad or something. I've done a ton of research on Apple. I have an Apple Watch, I have an Apple TV, I have an iPad, an iPhone, a Mac. I live in the Apple ecosystem, so if I can help you out with that, then let me know. And if you're an Android user or a Windows user and you're like, hey, these are good products too, let me know that as well, because I'd be happy to learn. All right, guys, well, that's gonna wrap it up for me this week. Just a little bit of coverage about the iPad Pro 9.7. Hopefully more videos to come about that product. If you liked what you saw today, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and make sure to smash that subscribe button so you don't miss another single video. Until next time, my name is Derek, and I'll see you in the next one.